Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/TalesFromTechSupport. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called Starship Troopers. About 2 months back, I'm sitting at my desk when my boss comes to talk to me. We are having a laugh, talking about the Windows 11 update we are going to pushing out to our users, as they are currently on Windows 10. Finally, he tells me he wants me to shoot some training videos, and I joked I should shoot them in the style of Starship Troopers. We joke and talk about how I'm going to shoot them, and we are just throwing ideas out for a solid 10 minutes, joking around about these videos. We are laughing hard, just having fun. Finally, I get back to work. A week later he comes by and asks how those Starship videos were coming along, to which I asked, "Oh, you were serious?" I then spent the next 2 months on and off, shooting videos in the style of Starship Troopers, introducing Windows 11 to my users. We released them last week, and I was pretty proud of it, since I did the entire thing myself and got to learn about a video editing software I'd never used before. The videos were a pretty big hit. I talked in a deep voice the entire time. I Starshipified the script. It was over the top patriotic. I also work for my local government, so I also used my government seal throughout the videos. I put in background patriotic music that was free licensing. I took off on Friday and we'll release a video each day for the next 3 days. My users really loved the videos and weren't expecting the Starship Troopers references, and so they started talking amongst each other, and unknown to me, they decided to watch the movies, since enough of them reminiscent about it. Today, one of my users came to talk to me about how she could only watch the first 20 minutes. We both laughed, and she decided to give Starship Troopers a shot. The next story is called The Word Document. I worked with a guy, let's call him Steve. One day, Steve asked me if I'd be interested in doing out-of-hours paid tech support for his dad. I said sure, as I've done it before, and it was good beer money and my rate of 50 Australian dollars an hour. One night, I meet Steve at his parents' place, and he introduces me to his dad, Bob. Bob is a really nice guy, but doesn't know much about computers. Bob is a big history buff and loves to research World War I and II soldiers, and also his own family tree. He'd been hitting up those Find a Grave sites and had downloaded files scattered everywhere. He wanted those cleaned up and some hard drive space reclaimed, because it was running out. So I do those things, and before I leave, he asks if I can quickly log into a site he's been to before and find a grave of a soldier he was related to. I ask which site, and he instructs me to open the Word document he's got sitting on his desktop. So I do. This is the Word document from hell. It's literally several hundred pages long and contains everything. Usernames and passwords for various sites, email addresses and contact details for friends, family, businesses, acquaintances, and so on. Receipts from raw records he's purchased online, emails he's sent and received to various people, instructions on how to use software, instructions on how to change the channel on his TV, everything. I stared at this document, the scroll bar getting smaller and smaller as Word opened the document. Bob then says to me, the link is about a third of the way down. Keep scrolling. I start scrolling. Eventually he says, stop, go back a bit. And I go back about a dozen pages. We find the website and I click on the link. We then go back into the document and he says, alright, now scroll up. So I do. About halfway back up to the top, he says, stop, and we scroll around until we find the username and password. We are navigating this document the way a country boy gives driving directions. We log in, he buys the record he wants, then asks me to copy and paste the confirmation page into the document. We scroll down further into the Word document until we find a chunk of document dedicated to receipts. We paste the confirmation somewhere in the middle, and then I download the record as a PDF and put it into a folder, which was properly named and organized, which was surprising. I did about 2 or 3 more tech support sessions with him, and each time we delved into the Word document, and I scrolled through what felt like 100 years of this guy's computer interactions. After that, I tricked a coworker into taking on the job. Hey, you want to make some money doing tech support for Steve's dad? Yeah, sure. He came to me a few weeks later and just said, What the heck is up with that Word document? I just laughed. The third story is called Just a Little Problem. We got a ticket at work. Keyboard is weird. Please fix sometime today or tomorrow. Being low priority, I put it off and went to work on other tickets that seemed more urgent. I figured the keyboard is dirty or sticky. It doesn't seem that urgent. I get to her ticket. Okay, a very non-specific problem. I look and the user is using a laptop. This is either going to be easy, hard or gross. I take a walk up to her office with my card and I see from 20 feet away that the entire laptop is bulging to the point of breaking. A telltale sign that the internal battery is severely bulging and an immediate fire hazard. So at the first sight of it, I put on my safety goggles, outdoor gloves and unplug it while she's typing on it. What are you doing? I didn't save my work. Be glad you still have a face. I'll be back in 15 with a different laptop that isn't on the verge of exploding. So into the fire bag on my card that's dedicated for laptops on the verge of turning the office into the third circle of hell, down to the Batcave. I asked the very green intern what he thinks the problem is with the laptop. I ain't touching that, smart kid. So I had to get it under the fume hood. And I was shaking as I took the screws out of the laptop. It was bulging so badly that when I got the first screw out, the case visibly popped as tension released. I really felt like a bomb squad guy as I got the thing apart and the battery out and into a fire bag. I leave the bag in the fume hood and finally take a look at her laptop, starting on the actual paperwork for the ticket. My heart rate is coming back under control as I look up the model number to get a new battery. While the intern is getting another laptop ready, I end up pulling her files off the computer. Once I find a charger cord that works, my boss walks in, walks over to the fume hood to shut it off, does a double take when he sees the battery looking like a hot pocket and leaves it on. Now it's sitting in a bucket of sand 5 feet from the dumpster, awaiting the hazmat company to come collect it. Just a minor keyboard issue. The last story is called Wouldn't Help Us. My team works from a ticketing queue, supporting a subset of the systems at my company. We don't accept work requests via phone call, email, internal messages or walk-ups. If you need to engage us, you open a ticket via any of a number of means. Of course, we also have a group inbox, but again, no ticket, no work. 2 days ago, we got an email to the group inbox. Hey, we can't save files. A screenshot of access denied error message. Can you please grant this list of IDs access? No mention of where these files are located, and my team isn't in the business of granting access to anything. But if we did have a ticket with some info about where these files were, we could route it to the right people. So in a Slack moment, I reply, you haven't included any information at all about the host or the path where these files are located, so I don't have any way to put you in touch with the right team. If you put that info in a ticket to my queue, I can put it in front of the right people, but as is, I don't have enough information to help you at all. The client sends an email with the host name and file share path, so I reply again. Great, thank you. Now please put all that into a ticket, as I mentioned, and I'll assign it to the team that can help you. Crickets. What they want is deep into some other group's territory, and I would be stepping all over that group's toes and breaking all kinds of protocol if I did what they ask. It's possible, unlikely but possible, that I could even lose my job if I did what they said they need. I know the group that can help. I asked twice for a ticket so I could help them. They just can't be bothered to spend 2 minutes creating a ticket. I'm convinced they just want to say, we asked, but nobody would help us. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.